Hey, what's up everybody? Tony Avitia, President Timeshare Simplified with the timeshare dog Akira. I just want to do a quick update about the Marriott Abound points transfer new system, new rule that they put in place. We're getting a lot of emails about that, but I just wanted to come give you a direct message when I have time while I'm walking, so forgive me, I don't have a big fancy studio. And it's cold as heck. We just moved to Nashville from Las Vegas. Okay, so it does not affect our business really whatsoever. We are still here to help you monetize your unused vacation club points, so do not worry about that. It doesn't change the business for us at all. What it does change a little, obviously I've been anticipating this for the last 3 years because this is what Wyndham did. Because to be honest, these companies, most of the money they make is from people turning their sorry, I only got 2 credits in junior college, but turning your points in for cruises and airline tickets and whatever other items they offer that are of horrible value. And what they do is they take those points and then they rent them out on their sister companies. So like Marriott Vacation Club is not Marriott worldwide. They're sister companies. And so what they do when they pay, they'll just go pay cash for your cruise. They'll get it at a deal and then they'll take your points and then they'll rent them out on Marriott.com for like, you know, anywhere from 70 cents to, I've seen sometimes they do it over $2 a point. So they make a killing. I remember when I worked there, the first 4 years from like, I don't know, 2012 to 2016, they hadn't built one resort and their profits went up like $400 million. And I saw an interview with the CEO of Marriott Vacation Club. And he said, well, once we realized the amount of money you can make on the arbitrage between people trading in their unused points for cruises and airfare and things like that, that's what increased their profitability. And like, I forget how much the stock went up when I was there, but it was quite a bit just in 4 years. I don't know, you can look back at the chart. It's like double from when I left there like 6 years ago. But it doesn't change anything in the business. They're just trying to make it as hard as possible for people to get a good return on those points from people like us that help you to monetize it. But it doesn't matter. We have a workaround for that, which we've been doing with most of our clients for the last 3 years. So this is really just for anybody who doesn't currently let us log into your account. So instead of you just transferring the points directly over to us, what we do is we just do it like you're renting it out yourself, which is perfectly legal. It's in the bylaws. Marriott's deeded timeshare, so you have all the rights of it a rental. I mean, Marriott has their own rental program that you can use, but they take like I think it's a 40% commission, or at least it used to be. I don't know, something like that. For if you have a week in Maui or whatever, they'll rent it out for you and take 40% of it. But they don't have a points rental program. But they're all backed by deeded real estate. So you have all the rights of ownership. Plus, when they sell it to you, you know, it was in our training program to let you know it is an option. So it's not like you're doing anything illegal when you're renting out your points. They just want you to not do that because they want you to use their services, which is good. They offer those services. Some of the companies don't even offer those services, but you know, they designed the programs obviously for you to go on vacation. But you know, you buy these things when you're on vacation and you don't think of the long-term consequences. Like one of my favorite clients, her and her mother own like 80,000 destination points. And the mom, who's like, she's like 87 or 90, she just passed away. She owned like 2 quarter shares at the one in Lake Tahoe. So this 87-year-old lady who owns 6 months of timeshare in Lake Tahoe, who lives in Ohio, whose husband has passed, has no way to turn this in for airfare or cruises, and there's no option for her to rent it out for points. So that's where we come in. We just help you to recoup at least your fees plus some. If you, not to disparage the program, I mean, Marriott program is the best program out there by far of any of the timeshare programs. But, you know, if you've ever tried to turn your points in for a cruise or airfare tickets, forget the formula. It was like, when I was there, it was like for every 500 points, you got like $200 in airfare. So what's that? That's not even like 50 cents. So I think one of the brokers I worked for, she calculated it one time. It was like, now this is a couple years ago. She had told me it was like 38 cents a point. Points they had given you towards cruises and stuff. Because I mean, you can go to Cruises to Go. I think it's Cruises to Go. And you can get any cruise for like super cheap. So you can rent the points from us, even though we don't pay you a ton over your maintenance fees. Well, it depends. If you just own points, then we probably pay like right at your maintenance fees, maybe a little bit more. But if you own some weeks and some points the old way, your average maintenance cost should be well below 64 cents a point, if even that. I mean, obviously it depends on where your deed is. If you maybe own like a 3-bedroom Maui Christmas week, your maintenance could be a lot more. But for the most part, if you own 1 or 2 weeks the old way and they just convert into points, and you own some destination points, your maintenance fees should be a lot less than what we pay you. So you're getting almost, I wouldn't say twice the value, but at least 40% more value just renting your points through someone like us than using it for anything besides rooms. Obviously, the best way to get the most value out of your destination points is to use it at the resorts for your own vacations. But if you're like my client, Elaine, and her mother, she's nothing but grateful. And the last year, her mom was able to get like a hearing aid and stuff because we paid her out like $32,000, or I forget how many points she did, maybe 60,000. Maybe we paid her out like $40,000, and her maintenance fees were only like 22,000 or 24,000. So she had plenty of money to pay her maintenance fees, plus she was able to get a hearing aid, which her daughter was super happy about because her mom couldn't hear at all. And then for the last like 3 years, we've been able to pay her maintenance fees plus some. We make it nice and easy. So what we do, all we do is we send you out a contract. You just put your Marriott login credentials on it. If you've never done that procedure with us before, it's very simple. We, you know, do as best as anybody can do with security. We use a software called Keeper Security. So only one of the people on the team gets access to the contract account. They put your login credentials into the Keeper Security, and we only have like two or so people that can log into owners' accounts. And then you take a picture of your account and you circle whichever lines you would like us to use. Because, you know, depending upon your account, if you only own like 2,000 to 4,000 points, it's usually not a big deal. But if you own a bigger account with like 10,000, 8 to 20,000 points, you're gonna have multiple lines in your account. So we just have you circle whichever lines you would like us to use to rent out, submit that into us, and let us know, hey, I want to rent out 10,000 points, and I circled it right here. You can just take a picture or a screenshot with your iPhone and just use the pencil feature. The team will send you out instructions on how to do it, or you just Google how to circle a picture. It's pretty easy on most iPhones, and I'm sure Android's probably similarly easy. Circle that, you email it to us, we send you out the contract. Then all you do is you put your Marriott login credentials on there with how many points. Then we put you in rotation, and then we'll put you on what we call our future points list, you know, like a waiting list or the on deck circle. And then we go through, I don't know, 30, 50,000 points a week. So we get to you relatively quickly. It just depends on, you know, obviously how many points we have, and then we have brokers we deal with. So usually most people don't wait more than 2 weeks to 60 days at the most. Obviously depends on how busy things are in the economy. We'll see how that all shapes up here soon. But so far, everything's still on pace. The reason we're so busy is we're able to keep our prices under what Marriott.com charges, but we can only pay a certain price per point because, quite frankly, if you go to Marriott.com, most of the timeshare resorts you can book on Marriott.com for about the same price as you pay in maintenance fees on the weekends. Now, the weekdays are a fantastic deal. And then the bigger resorts like Hawaii, you know, the Ritz-Carlton and Vail. I mean, there are some times where your timeshare is just a smoking deal. Like, it'd be like $9,000 to stay in Hawaii if you booked it on Marriott.com, but if you book it on points, it's only like 6,000 points. So you're only paying 3,000 in maintenance. So those deals are good, but like, you can't rent out Hawaii unless you have a license. And like, to get a license for each unit is like, and they don't even care if it's a timeshare unit, it's $2,000 a year for the license. And then $1,000, no, the first year's $1,000, then the next year's $2,000. And there's like a bunch of rules. So like, renting out Hawaii is very difficult on major sites like that we use, like Airbnb, VRBO, things like that. So those are instances, but a lot of times, you know, you can rent the same units for the cost of your maintenance on the weekends at a lot of these resorts. So that's the times we use. That's because to try to get the availability for those times of the year, they're usually sold out. So that's why we use the times that nobody else is using. So it doesn't take the good inventory away from the owners. Like major holidays and Christmas breaks. I mean, if it happens to be available, we'll book it, of course. But most of the owners book that stuff ahead of time, so we don't take the good reservations. We just utilize the time that's not being used in the system with points you were going to use anyways. They're your points. Doesn't matter if you use them or your friends use them or whoever. You paid for them. You get to do it however you want. So anyway, so we send you the contract. We put your login securely into the Keeper app. And then we just, as the reservations come in, we just book the guests in your account, just like if your friends were staying. When they check in, they put their credit card down and their driver's license and all that. So if they, and then the websites we use pre-check many of these people. So if they have any like, if they've had any bad marks against them or bad scores, or they have bad reviews against themselves, then we don't rent to those people. Also, the websites we use offer $1 million host guarantee. So if anything were to happen, you have $1 million insurance policy. I've never seen anything like that happen in the last 20 years, but just, you know, I know it's a concern of people's, but you don't have to worry about that. See that? It's my neighbor. So yeah, we have $1 million host guarantee if, God forbid, something were to happen to your unit, which you don't really need to worry about because they're putting their credit card down. Most people only stay 2 days. And most things like broken lamps and chairs and stuff like that, unless it's like a crazy, I don't know, you know, crazy party, I guess. But that's when people are paying $200 to $500 a night, they're not going to do that. So that's not really something you need to worry about. But just so you know, you have the $1 million host guarantee that would take care of any of that stuff. So I doubt they could cause $1 million in damage in a little condo. But anyway, so you have that covered. One of the cool things is with Marriott Vacation Club, it is linked to your Marriott Rewards account. So every time we book a reservation on your account, you get 1,000 Marriott Reward points. So people with bigger accounts, like 8 to 20,000 points plus, because most of our reservations are smaller. So because most people aren't timeshare owners, they can't afford to go somewhere for a whole week. So they usually go for a night or two. Hey, stubborn dog. They can only go for a night or two. Sorry, I'm gonna have to do a full panoramic because the dog's tying me up. It's pretty back here in Nashville though, huh? So, okay, so where was I? So you get 1,000 points for every reservation. So some owners can earn tens of thousands of Marriott reward points doing this, which you can obviously go use for whatever you want. So you use that, and then we just go through your account. Usually doesn't take us more than a week or so to go through your account. and then we pay every 2 weeks according to whatever points we use during that time. And then we do have a roughly 10 to 20% cancellation. So we have you keep the password the same until the last person checks out, because you will be paid for 95+% of the reservations before they even check in. So our company and me, I take all the risk, because you'll have all these bookings. Like if you rent 10,000 points to you, I'll have already paid you your $6,800 or whatever, or $6,600 or whatever. 10,000, yeah, say 6,600 up front, and the guests won't even be checking in till say December or January or February or whatever, but you'll already have been paid. Say it's like November right now when I'm doing this video. So we start using your account. We'll go through your 10,000 points, but the reservations won't actually be checked in until December, January, February, however far out we book them, maybe not even till July. But you will already have been paid in full. So you take no risk. I take all the risk. There's no risk to you. Even in your account, like sometimes it's like people, and I understand this completely, but we get your login to your account. All it has in your account is your name and address and phone number, and the ability to use those points to book reservations. So it's easy for you to calculate out if we use more points than you agreed to rent us. And if that ever happens, which is never, I mean, maybe one time they've went over like a couple hundred points, and all you gotta do is contact us, let us know. We can do a full audit of your account, and obviously if we used more than was agreed upon, we would either pay you the difference, or we would have points transferred into your account from our account or somebody else's, or we could cancel that reservation and book it somewhere else. So there's always an out. You're always in control. We're more at risk than you are, quite frankly, because I did have one guy who, I think he was an older guy, might have had dementia, and actually, I don't even think he was that old, but we had rented like 3,000 points of his, and we booked all the points in his account, and we paid him. He cashed the check and then canceled all the reservations because he didn't know where they came from, which seems strange to me, but you know, whatever. It could have been an innocent mistake. And then we had to rebook all those rooms at the last minute. There was one we couldn't book because the dates were no longer available. So that does happen, but that risk is to us, not to you, because you'll already have been paid. So you don't even have to worry about that. You don't even need to worry about that, because people in Tennessee drive fast. Like, where are you driving so fast? So yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. We take care of everything. You don't need to do anything. Once you sign the contract, they'll send you an email notifying you that they're going to start using your account, and then within 2 weeks, we pay out every other Monday. You just wait, and we either send you a check or a PayPal transfer. And I think that's basically it. And so that's it. And then I'm going to do another video on ways to increase the money you get per year back on your rentals. There's some cool tricks you could do. So even though we might not pay a ton more than over your maintenance costs, there's some simple other things you can do that could get you extra $2,000 to $10,000 per year in actual cash value. In addition to what you rent out the points for. And it's a very simple thing to do. I'll do another video on it and attach that one as well. I see we're almost at 20 minutes. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk so long. I don't know if I should have done it like my wife, like short and sweet, but I wanted to kind of explain the whole process if you happen to be watching this. So let us know if you have any questions or concerns on that. But other than that, we're still renting the points for you on your behalf. You'll still continue to get way more than you would using it for cruises and airfare. And then you take that money we give you and you go to Cruises to Go or anywhere else. Probably that's way cheaper. And then, you know, obviously the best way to always use your points is to use them for yourself at those beautiful properties. But, you know, with the way the economy is, things like that, you might not be able to use it for a year or two, or you might not want to use it, or you might rather have the cash to pay those costs or whatever. So let us know. We're still here. We're still working. Akira and I, oh, Kieker, look alive. Akira and I, the timeshare dog, we're out. All right. God bless. Take care.